Mr. Dino, good afternoon. And first of all, warm welcome from China, from Beijing. And we know that this time you come to Beijing for a think tank exchange, which focuses on the trilateral relationship between China, ASEAN, and Indonesia. So from your point of view, what's the biggest change you've noticed in that relationship, and why Indonesia and ASEAN countries have been focusing on advancing their relationship with China and people-to-people exchange?
Yeah, well, we are very delighted to be here in Beijing, and the trilateral will come at an interesting time, which is after the visit by President Trump to Beijing to meet with President Xi Jinping. Yeah, and we noticed that President Xi Jinping has been calling for a new type of great power relationship, that he wants the rise of China and does not lead into a conflict with the United States as the world's, so far, only superpower. Yeah, and he believes that obviously the two great powers can coexist and hopefully can work together for the sake of world peace. But meanwhile, ASEAN-China is steady. The trade is going up. People-to-people relationships are quite solid. Investment are rising. The degree of trust is very high now. And we hope that the US-China relationship, which is the most important bilateral relationships in our region and in the world, I think we hope that it will see good progress ahead.
We are so glad to hear that. You have long devoted yourself in people-to-people diplomacy and presenting a real image of China to the Indonesian people. And you have noticed the giant change China has witnessed. But have you noticed if there's any change in the public's perception of Indonesian to China, and especially among young people like Gen Z, like I?
Yes. In the past, there was little knowledge about China. And in fact, the knowledge was based on what China was. You know, a poor China with a lot of bicycles, a close China. You know, that was the image of China of the past. Yeah, I think it has changed a lot because first, Chinese products are everywhere in Indonesia, right? Chinese phones, they really affect the daily life of Indonesians because they hold Chinese products and they see Chinese technology and good quality. And the latest is the Chinese EV. I mean, I have two BYDs at home, right? And they cost a lot less than Tesla, and they are very good quality. And now you see BYDs everywhere in Indonesia. You see Wuling everywhere, and you know, I think there are more and more Chinese EVs. I don't know what the brand. I know you have so many brands, right? But it's Indonesians are exposed to a lot of Chinese products of good quality. So China is seen as a source of not just investment, but source of economic activities that benefit the people. So that's very important because a lot of times when they see relationship with other countries, the people don't feel it. Right? But this is the
but
time.
Now they're feeling it
They're
every
feeling
day.
it, yeah. They're riding it, they're using it, they're eating it, and so on. Yeah.
Yes. So people and people exchange is the foundation of all bilateral cooperations.
Yeah.
And in the next 5 years, what are your practical suggestions for China and ASEAN countries, and especially China and Indonesia, to deepen their mutual trust, bridge cognitive gaps, and to build a set of inclusive and stable Asia-Pacific order?
Yeah, well, definitely student-to-student exchanges is extremely important. Because the students are the most open-minded and the most energetic. They will be in leadership role, you know, the next 10, 20 years from now. So that's one. Second is the business communities, the ones who actually buy each other's products and invest in each other's economy. And we have a very large number of entrepreneurs in Indonesia engaging with China. So that's a very important component. And then, of course, the political leaders, the ones in parliament, the ones in government, and so on, they must have a mutual understanding and based on mutual respect.
Yeah, so what experience do you have? What suggestions would you give Western countries for them to better cooperate with China?
Judge less. Sometimes they are too judgmental. They judge China and judging China from the perspective of the past. So I think that's what they need to do. Have dialogue on the basis of mutual respect. Don't be judgmental, and seek opportunities for cooperation. There's always opportunity for cooperation, and don't be afraid to learn from China. China is seen to be one of the leaders of the world, in terms of your development assistance, the way you invest in countries, including in Africa, in the Middle East, and in Latin America, of course in Southeast Asia, So there's a lot to learn from China, and we hope China will continue to be a force for goodwill. So the role of China will be very important to make sure the world is going in the right direction.